Staff included substitutes as well as custodial and cafeteria workers. It was our thought that design of the Hamburg Emergency Response Protocol that has common language associated with the Orchard Park Central School District may spread to surrounding school districts so the emergency responders in any of these areas have a common knowledge on how school staff and students are trained in the event of an emergency. Orchard Park Police Lieutenant Pat Fitzgerald brings 12 years of law enforcement experience with him today, having also previously worked for the City of Rochester Police Department. Lieutenant Fitzgerald supervises the Community Policing Office, where he has worked as a DARE officer and school resource officer for the Orchard Park Central School District. Lieutenant Fitzgerald is also employed by Erie 2 BOCES as an SRO at the Baker Road Alternative Education School. Lieutenant Fitzgerald serves as a field training officer and member of the department's emergency response SWAT team. He sits on many of the school's building safety teams in Orchard Park and presents the Orchard Park Police Department on the Orchard Park School District Safety Committee. Lieutenant Fitzgerald is an executive board member for New York State DARE Officers Association, has been involved in school safety and security for the last 8 years. Now this is the important sheet. In conclusion, I'd like to personally thank the members of the district safety team for donating their time and bringing their expertise and ideas for the greater good. And the Village of Hamburg Police Department under Chief Gleason for their lead in a collaboration effort with other law enforcement agencies to make this plan possible. In addition, I'd like to offer my gratitude to School Superintendent Betsy McGarity from the Orchard Park Central School District for allowing his SRO to help us in this endeavor. I'd also like to extend my appreciation to Chief Mark Petrolik of Orchard Park Police Department for making Lieutenant Fitzgerald available to us, as he stated, anytime, anywhere, to protect kids, no matter where they live. And last but not least, I'm truly grateful to the parents, visitors, students, and staff at Boston Valley Elementary School for being a leader in school safety within the district. Their patience, flexibility, diligence, and professionalism allowed the district safety team to use Boston Valley as a testing ground for tabletop exercises to ensure the safety of their colleagues and students in other schools within the district.
Good evening. I'm here today as a police officer, as a husband, as a son, and as a brother, but most importantly, I'm here today as the father of a Hamburg Central School District student and a member of the Hamburg PTSA. 3 months ago, I responded to an incident that will forever be stuck within my mind. On April 10th, at 9:36 a.m., I received information that a 911 caller had reported a school shooting at the Armour Elementary School, a school where my daughter was a kindergartner. Never before in 12 years of police experience have I ever responded to an incident involving one of my loved ones. My coworkers will tell you that school safety and security is something that I have a keen interest in. My police chief recently described it as a passion of mine, and they're correct. Nothing, however, has motivated me more than reflecting back upon the thoughts and emotions that went through my mind as I ran to my police car and raced off to my daughter's school, anticipating a scene like we saw at Sandy Hook Elementary, Columbine High School, and so many of the other school attacks throughout this country. As Mr. Martin has stated, I've been working with the Orchard Park School District now for about 8 years, just over 8 years, and I've been involved in the emergency response plan for the district. We feel it's a pretty good plan, but it's not a plan that we haven't changed over the years. We've taken out parts of it that we thought needed to be altered, parts that needed to be removed, and we've added other parts that we thought were necessary based upon our experience, what we've seen other places, and the day-to-day use of that plan. The emergency response plan is truly a partnership. In no way is it a law enforcement agency coming into a school district and saying, this is what you have to do and this is how you have to do it. It's everybody working together to come up with a plan that we think is going to benefit every single person that's at the table. Whether it's the student, the visitor, the staff member, the administrators, the school board, everybody that responds in for an incident, the emergency responders, police, fire, and EMS. Our thought in Orchard Park is rather than having every school have their own plan on how they're going to respond to an incident, to have common language and to have a plan that all the emergency responders are familiar with so that we're all on the same page makes a lot of sense. And for Hamburg, rather than reinventing the wheel, Hamburg was able to look around at the surrounding law enforcement agencies and school districts and select a plan that they thought was going to work best for their district. About 8 years ago when I started instructing school safety and security and doing assemblies in schools and faculty meetings and school board meetings, I'd have to spend a lot of time at the beginning of the presentation talking about the why. I'd spend a good 20 minutes explaining why we're here, why you need to put the newspaper down and listen to what I'm about to say. I've noticed, unfortunately, in the last few years, that because of recent media events, I spend a lot less time talking about the why. People understand. They understand why it's important. They understand why they should be paying attention. We want to be prepared to handle everything from the most minor incident that we know occurs in our schools on a daily basis, those little speed bumps along the path of our day, all the way to the worst case scenario we could possibly imagine. An active shooter within one of our schools, someone who is intent upon hurting those that are in our schools. We know that the more we train our school staff and faculty, the more our students are familiar with our policies and how we're going to respond, the more comfortable they're going to be every single day at school, the better they're going to be able to react in the case of an incident, and the more comfortable they're going to be in that critical moment. We know that the calmer that the faculty and staff are, the calmer the students are going to be. When faculty and staff show stress, the students are soon to follow. We deal with impromptu incidents in our schools every single day. From irate parents showing up at the office, causing a scene, suicidal students that are barricaded in a classroom or barricaded in a bathroom. We know that there are students that have first aid needs. We've had students that have gotten injured throughout the day. We've had faculty and staff members become injured throughout the day, and we need to get an ambulance in to take care of them. We certainly need to be able to deal with that differently than every other event that goes on in our school. We also know that we need to be prepared to handle a planned attack. Someone who is intent upon coming into our building and causing harm to our students, our faculty, staff, and visitors. There's a lot of our plan that we do not publicize. We do not put out there. Obviously, we have a lot of familiar faces in here, but I can't say that I know every single person in this room. In a public forum, we know that reporters are here, newspapers. We've got cameras here for our news stations, and we do not want our plan, which we refer to as our playbook, to be disseminated out there. You will never see our emergency response plan published on a website or posted on a wall, so everybody that comes into our schools is going to be able to read it. And it's important that it remain that way. We have begun rolling out a common language here in the Hamburg School District, a language that is somewhat similar to what other faculty and staff members in our buildings have seen, but different at the same time. Coming up with a common language that is now similar with everything that Orchard Park is familiar with. And our goal is, and we've had communications with other school districts, the goal is to roll out this plan and this policy to other school districts across the area. We know that in the case of a large-scale incident, the resources available within the town of Orchard Park or the town of Hamburg or the town of Boston are not going to be sufficient enough to handle whatever goes on at that school. And we've seen that time and time again in large-scale school attacks throughout this country. We find that it's important that by having a common language, that other agencies who now speak that language can come in and we're able to get the job done a lot faster, a lot easier. If there's anyone that's interested afterwards in talking with either Mr. Martinez or myself, or as a school board, if you guys would like to have more communication about the plan, I would welcome you guys as school board members to attend one of the district trainings so that you can be more familiar with the language and the actual individual parts of that plan as it's being rolled out. That's all I have, Mr. Martinez. I don't know if there's anything else you want to follow up with.
The plans were previously that on the opening day of August 27th, that Lieutenant Fitzgerald was going to do a half-hour presentation because it's all the trainings that we went through were just to teach the language, but part of the regulations of that 260-page document, we have to have regular trainings and understanding so staff members and teachers can lead in case of an emergency. But that's on hold right now until we get orders from the superintendent. Anybody have any questions? I'm sorry to say that Lieutenant Fitzgerald's chief may be here, but his real boss, he's been on vacation, he's been preparing us, and he has to go home right now. So we're going to disrupt this from his laptop, or his wife's going to yell at me.
Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Martinez for all the work he has done to make our schools safe, and to Lieutenant Fitzgerald and to all the police agencies. I have a very healthy respect for police officers. My grandfather was a police captain. My uncles were in the police force. I have a daughter who's a U.S. military officer. I have a daughter who's also in law enforcement. So I thank you for all you do for us, Mr. Martinez. We greatly appreciate the hard work you've done to make us safe and our students safe. And I think the whole board will agree. Thank you.
All right, we're going to go back to the committee reports. Sally has two quick, very quick committee reports.
Usually we all give a committee report at the meeting, but of course, we're new. I'm on the Parent-Child Connection, and I'm also on the District Health Advisory Committee. And we have a few things that we're working on as a drug forum for the middle school, which Mr. Martinez and the District Health Advisory Committee is working on, as well as our athletic director. We had something last year for all incoming freshmen at the high school with the parents and the children to know about the drug policy, the dangers of drugs, and there have been other forms. The other thing which is really important that we've discussed, it'll be a discussion for the rest of the year, we talk about the extended school day for the elementary students. As you know, we have approximately 1 month left of education for our elementary students as Orchard Park, Eden, East Aurora, and 1 month less in elementary education is a lot for our students and our teachers. So that'll be advised to the Hamburg Teachers Association, to the PTSA, to administrators to develop a plan as long with transportation to extend that school day by 40 minutes a day for all elementary students in our district. And that's all I have to report. But these are the important things that we need to consider.
Well, first you have to bring it up. You have to bring it up. We have to have a motion.
Okay, in your packets is the revised policy 6520, Family and Medical Leave Act. This is the first reading, it's an enclosure. Do you have any questions?
Yep.
Did you have any comments?
I do, just very quickly, certainly this is an update from Area 1 BOCES to follow the law for the FMLA. If you have any questions during your first reading, please contact me or Mr. Tresman.
It's exactly what the federal law states.
Correct.
So,
Except that there was one thing that I think we extended, which actually is better, right? Isn't it with accepting children into public work? I don't have it on me, but yeah, it almost led to the letter of the law.
Last year.
We're extending
Correct.
something that the law does not require. There are a few things that we are extending to our employees that the law doesn't require. So.
Correct, and for equality purposes, we certainly added in everything that would certainly cover an employee to carry that out.
I was very impressed by.
Thank you.
Okay, the consensus items, G, recommended motion that approval be given to all consensus items under section G. Motion? Yeah.
So moved.
So, second?
Second.
And what they are is the,
I have one thing there.
yes.
Page 10. Sorry. I want to add, a retiree wants to volunteer the services of 30 employees. Get intended to that volunteer list.
Oh, I thought you had it.
He's retired as a reading and writing teacher.
Oh, I thought.
Sure.
Where
It says volunteers, G, recommendations, committees of, let's see.
School volunteers?
Yeah, school volunteers, yes.
I believe the policy for volunteers is that they apply through their individual schools,
Yes,
and then that
Correct.
gets here. Did that go through volunteers?
yes, I'm adding Catherine Benda.
Or should it go through the
But did it go
proper
through the proper
procedures, is
procedure?
what he's saying, to have the volunteer at the
She
school.
has applied, and she's
I think it's
been
got
cleared, and
Yes,
she's not on the list.
I haven't personally seen it, but if she applies and wants to send something to me, I know Mr. Martinez would be involved in that process for the need for volunteers for 13-14 school year.
Okay, so she will apply, then we can do it at the next meeting.
Correct.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
And it's gotten to be very strict with volunteers, if anybody knows. It used to be where you used to just go into the school and be able to volunteer if you were helping out with parent centers, but now you actually have to fill out an application. Because I was helping in a kindergarten class, and, oh no, we need your application. Okay, well, you know, and this was a policy as of last year, it's a very good one for the safety of our students.
Okay, so the G items, real quick, are the approval of the minutes of the June 11th meeting. Back over the June 20th meeting and the June 26th meeting. There's some personnel changes. We did pull the instructional personnel appointments, and we added G2A10, which is the appointment of an acting superintendent, and we have asked Dr. Jetter to be the acting superintendent of the Hamburg Central Schools until we find a replacement. And that's what G2A10 is. And then on G2B, the civil service positions, that's just house cleaning. We can always add those positions later. I don't want anybody to be frightened by this long list that people are being laid off or there's, you know, something going on here. It's just house cleaning. If we wanted to put one of those back, we always could.
Do you want
You want me to give a
Yeah.
quick shout out to everybody? Can you hear me back there? On our board agenda on our website, we put a disclaimer in red, and basically that just wanted to tell people that we are not laying off anyone. We were asked by the Board of Education in March during executive session to conduct an audit of our civil service positions and what they match with our current employees. Through our collaboration with the Department of Civil Service, we found that we had many open positions from civil service since the 1970s that weren't abolished. One of those examples would be television technician helper. We do not have, it doesn't even say LCD television technician helper. We do not have such a position in the district, so therefore we wanted to go ahead and abolish things that were outdated or any positions that didn't match the current staff that we currently have. So just a quick shout out for that. We're not laying anybody off. We value our staff. We're just doing a little spring cleaning.
And then under G3, business, cooperative bidding with Erie 1, Erie 2 BOCES, Orly Niagara BOCES. The recommended motion that approval is given to the resolution for cooperative bidding with Erie 1, Erie 2 BOCES, Orly Niagara BOCES to bid jointly on duplicating paper, office, art supplies, breakfast, lunch, food, bread, and bread products, cafeteria paper and supplies, audio-visual, TV supplies, equipment, microcomputer supplies and equipment, computer, ribbons, cartridge, software, and custodian supplies. G3B, partial payment of school taxes. Recommended motion that approval is given to allow partial payment of the tax bill, thereby providing greater cash flow for the collection of current 2013-14 school taxes. Next, G3C, physical education supplies and equipment bid. The recommended motion that approval is given to the May 30th, 2013 low recommended bid for physical education supplies and equipment bids to various vendors in the amount of $7,216.26. You've seen that list in your packet. You've already reviewed it, okay. G3D, the health supplies and equipment, recommended motion that approval be given to the May 30th, 2013 low recommended bid for health supplies and equipment to various vendors in the amount of $3,763.64. And again, that was the closure that you all we were able to review. And G3E, fall athletic supply bid, that approval be given to the May 30th, 2013 low recommended bid for athletic supplies to various vendors in the amount of $5,533.33. G4 is field trips. G4A, the Hamburg High School National Honor Society to Orlando, Florida. This is happening November 20th to 24th, that be approved. Also, recommendations, this is G5, on the Committee of Preschool Special Education. Motion that the Committee on Preschool Special Education recommendations be approved. And then last, G6, recommendation of the Committee and Subcommittee on Special Education, that the Committee and Subcommittee on Special Education recommendation for a whole series of dates be approved. So that is all the G items. We have a motion on the floor, and it has a second. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Then all the G items are passed. Okay, then we're going to start the selection of this is the oh, okay, I skipped one. Okay, okay, we did the president, vice president. We're going to do the committee selections, and the first one, H2C. We'll entertain a recommended motion on a board member, delegate, and alternate to the ECASB Delegate Assembly. Does anybody?
That's one I've been on.
Tom?
I'd like to do that with you. Yeah, I'll be the alternate.
Okay, then the motion is that Tom Flynn be the board member delegate and Laura Heater be the alternate to the Erie County Association of School Board Delegate Assemblies. That's the motion.
That might be the quickest way to do it.
Okay.
Let's just make, go through and we'll vote on all those from H2C to H2O.
Okay, the legislative team, the recommended motion that I think Sally Stevenson should be involved in this with her legislative background. Sally, you got a problem with that, or? Okay. And an alternate? All right, I'll do it. I'll be the alternate. The budget and finance team?
I want to be.
All right, Kat would be, Catherine would be the,
Have you done the last 2 years?
I have, but if somebody else wants to do it this one.
and an alternate for the budget?
Okay.
All right, I'll do it. Okay, I'll be the alternate. Just write these down. Okay, board member delegate to the Hamburg Industrial Development Agency. I know that Matt Dills did that previously. If there's no objection, I'll do that.
I'd like to do that as well. I have interest in that. Tom, you have interest in that too.
That's something that I don't even think we have an alternate for. I think that's just a single appointment.
We always did though, I thought we always had.
No, there's no alternate.
No.
Meets Friday mornings, I believe, once a month for now.
I back.
Maybe you can put her down.
We'll just no, we'll just put Patty in it.
No, they have one.
Yeah, I think it's only one representative, but if you want, if you want to,
No, but I think it's something.
she's just a representative on the board.
IDA.
Yeah.
The IDA only wants one person.
The Health Advisory Council. Last year, that was. Give me that
Yeah,
one.
Laura, or you want, that's a good one, that you should. There's a lot of.
There's another one down there I'm interested in, so if you want to stay on that.
Okay, Sally and Holly for the Health Advisory Council. Board member delegate and alternate to Leadership Forum.
President, Vice
Let's give it
President.
Sally.
President, Vice, take that one.
advisory.
Health advisory.
Yeah, that's fine. Meets in the morning? Yeah. Okay.
Mondays and Tuesdays.
District Facility Committee. Laura, did you have an interest in that? No?
I do.
Okay, Kat,
I'll stay on that.
Patty. One more member. Patty, can you give a quick thought what that
Well,
entails?
we really didn't meet much this past year, only because there wasn't really much going on. But going forward, I believe that there'll be more meetings. If you just go around facilities, inspection, no, that's really the safety.
No.
The safety committee, more of inspections in the schools. So what do we?
So Catherine, Patty, and Laura.
That's a new person leading that committee, so we'll go by his advisement, and the administrator in that position.
The Transportation Committee, me and you, yeah, I guess, and Patty.
Somebody else wants transportation, I'll give it up.
Transportation.
Yeah, we also need 2 parents for this committee. So if there's any 2 parents that want to be on the Transportation Committee, you can stand up right now and we would. So,
Please.
it's just, that's what we need, all right.
Okay. Can you come and write your names down and come and write?
Do we have 2?
Yeah. Do we?
All right, okay, good. Okay, representatives of the Comprehensive District Education Planning Team. Laura, did you have an interest in that?
No, that's fine, somebody else wants to take it.
Parent-child connection, I know that Laura and Sally. Laura?
I'm feeling overwhelmed, so you can find.
Yeah, I'll take it. I do them anyways.
Patty and Sally. Board representative to the Village Town Safety Committee.
I can do that. Unless, did you want to do that? 'Cause I know you.
No, she can't be
They
on.
meet in the mornings and I can't make it.
Budget Ambassador Committee, we don't have one, so is that kind of,
Well, I wouldn't eliminate it at this point.
we'll just take it time and me then. And board member and alternate to the Technology Committee, unless someone else wants this, I'd really enjoy it. Okay, I'll do it, and I just need, and one more. Tom. Okay, then,
I have a
the first one was you. I got all this one. Okay, the motion for all the committees, the delegate assembly for the Erie County Board is Tom Flynn, and the alternate is Laura Heater. The legislative team will be Sally Stevenson, and Dave Yovine will be the alternate. Budget and Finance team will be Catherine Fortucci, and I will be the alternate. The Hamburg IDA agency will be Patty. Health Advisory Council, Sally Stevenson and Holly.
Laura.
Oh, that's, so the Health Advisory is Sally and Laura? Okay, board member, delegate, and alternate to Leadership Forum, be Dave Yovine and Sally Stevenson as the alternate. District Facility Committee would be Catherine, Patty, and Laura. Transportation Committee would be myself and Sally. Board Representative of Comprehensive District Educational Planning Team would be Laura and Sally. The Parent-Child Connection, Patty and Sally. And our board representative of the Village Town Safety Committee is Holly. Board representative of the Budget Ambassador Committee is Tom Flynn and myself. And Technology Committee is myself and Tom.
Mr. President, what about the two parent volunteers for the transportation?
Yeah, we'll get them later.
Barb-
We got it. I
Oh,
got
their
it.
names, right?
Barb will contact them.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we don't, you don't.
No,
You can give your names to Jen before you leave.
No, to Barb.
to Barb.
No, they go to Barb.
To Barb, yeah. We won't let you leave. We need you.
Let's get you on. Yeah.
Yes, did we get a first? I'll get a motion. So moved in a second.
Second.
Second is Patty. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that is passed. Okay, appointment of officers. Recommended motion that the persons outlined below for audit committee, treasurer, custodian of petty cash funds, Dignity Act coordinator, district clerk, tax collector, claim auditors, record retention and disposition officer, and record access officer, freedom of information appeals officer, section 504 compliance officer, Medicaid compliance officer, purchasing agent, certifier of instructional and civil service payrolls, appointing authority and liaison for homeless children and youth, Title IX ADA compliance officer, chemical hygiene officer, supervisor of attendance, pesticide notification officer, and education officer be appointed for the 2013-2014 school year.
Second.
Okay, that's also that the audit committee be comprised of all Board of Education members.
I have a question about that. I'd rather limit it to 3 of us. The whole board on the audit committee?
Yes.
We're all
Yeah.
responsible.
We're all
But isn't
responsible.
that a forum? Isn't that would be a board meeting
Well,
then?
it's
It is
public.
at a board meeting.
It's
They do it in
public.
public.
It's all public.
The audit committee will come and present to us in public, and they present to
Right.
the whole, and it's a long meeting.
Just so you know, 2 years ago, there's a policy that was changed, that it used to be 3 board members, now it's the full board. So if you change it, you're gonna have to change the district policy.
All right.
So it needs
And
to
there's a
stay
reason
this.
for it.
Because we're all responsible.
We're all responsible
Financially.
legally for the money of the taxpayers.
Okay.
Well,
Diane Height be appointed treasurer. I don't have to do the petty cash ones, do I? Do I have to- Okay, that the following individuals be appointed custodian of petty cash funds. Barb Suarez, Business Office Administration Building, acting interim superintendent, Dr. Jetter. Patrick Colley would be the high school office. Michelle Darstein, continuing education office. Michael Gallagher, high school. Jennifer Giagella, middle school. Leslie Bennett, Armor. James Martinez, Boston. Daniel Graham, Charlotte. Jacqueline Peffer at Union Pleasant. Dr. Jenner, Technology Department. Colleen Caney, Pupil Service Offices. That the following individuals be appointed Dignity Act coordinators. Armor. Leslie Bennett, Boston. James Martinez, Charlotte. Michelle Chafee and Daniel Grimm. Union Pleasant, Jackie Peffer. Middle school, Jen Gioletta. High school, Michael Gallagher and Colleen Caney for administration. Barbara Suarez be appointed district clerk. Catherine Rosinski, I knew that. Tommy Hamburg, tax collector. Tax collector in Orchard Park would be Carol Hutton. In town of Boston, would be a term of town. It's just the town of Boston even. That Mary Belton be appointed claims auditor, and Barb Suarez be appointed record retention and distribution officer, and Barb Suarez be appointed record access officer, and that Richard Jetter be appointed freedom of information appeals officer. Colleen Caney be appointed Section 504 Compliance Officer, Richard Jetter, Medicaid Compliance Officer, Barbara Suarez, Purchasing Agent, Dr. Jetter and Barbara Suarez be appointed certifiers of instructional and civil service payrolls. Dr. Jetter be appointed as appointing authority, and that Colleen Caney be appointed liaison for homeless children and youth. Dr. Jetter, Colleen Caney be appointed Title IX ADA co-appliance officers, and Kevin Strong be appointed chemical hygiene officer. Dr. Jetter be appointed supervisor of attendance. Kevin Strong be appointed pesticides notifications officer, and that Dr. Jetter be designated the educational official to receive court notifications regarding student sentences and injunctions. Okay, other appointments? Well, it's okay. All right, so second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That one's carried. Okay, next. Recommended motion of the following positions: bond counsel, financial advisors, external auditors, internal auditors, committee on special education, subcommittee on special education, committee on preschool, special education, impartial hearing officers be appointed for the 2013-14 as outlined below. That Donald Gregory and Gerald Loria be appointed as school physicians in the Hamburg Central School District and be offered a proportional share of the annual physical examination of students, including preschool children and athletes, at $6.50 per student, and examination of school personnel at $35 per adult. And that Hodgson and Ross be appointed bond counsel. That Munistat Services be appointed financial advisor, and that the firm of Ludstein and McCormick be appointed external auditors, and that the firm of Baggett and Laredo Baggett CPAs PC be appointed internal auditors. Yes.
Those two have both. On this meeting?
No, we can't do that.
That was a mistake.
We cannot do that.
The person's named on enclosure H.84F be appointed as member of the Committee on Special Education. The persons named on enclosure H4G be appointed as members of the Subcommittee on Special Education, and that persons named on enclosure H4H be appointed as member of the Committee on Preschool Special Education, and that persons named on enclosure H4I, impartial hearing officer rotational list, be approved as recommended in accordance with Part 200 of the regulation of the Commissioners of Education as certified and eligible hearing officers in special education and partial hearings in this district. Second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
One opposed. Okay, H5, designation for 2013-14. Recommended motion that the designation is outlined below for banks, times, and dates of meeting, official newspapers, notice of meeting, bulletin boards, and Occupational Education Advisory Council be approved for 2013-14.
So moved. So moved. Second.
That the following banks be designated as depositories for the school district: M&T Trust Company, Hamburg Branch, Evans National, Boston Branch, and Hamburg Branch, JP Morgan, Chase Bank, First Niagara. That unless otherwise scheduled by the Board of Education, is anticipated the board will adjourn into executive session at 6:30 and return to the regular session at 7:30 as follows, and there's a list of the dates, which are all published on the website. The following be designated as official newspapers of the district: the Hamburg Sun and the Orchard Park Bee. That the bulletin board and administration for be used for officially posting the time and date of board meetings, and that the Erie One BOCES be designated as the Occupational Education Advisory Council for the Hamburg Central School Districts for the 2013-14 school year. And the Occupational Educational Advisory Council is a yearly designation that must have board approval. Erie One BOCES has been so designated for at least the last 23 years. Okay, the motion's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That one's carried. H6, authorizations for 2013-14. Recommended motion that the authorization is outlined below for federal projects, conferences, and field trips. Investments of tax money and budget transfers be approved for 2013-2014.
So moved.
Second? Sally?
We should make sure, just one second.
Yes.
We should make sure, I think we should replace acting interim superintendent with Dr. Jetter for the moment, so that's clear. We're covered.
that Dr. Jeter be designated as the authorized representative under Public Law 8910 to sign all federal applications as a designated official of the Hamburg Central School District, and that Dr. Jeter be authorized to approve requests for conferences and field trips involving staff and students in accordance with established policies and rules and regulations of the district, and that the tax collectors be authorized to invest tax money, that Dr. Jeter be authorized to approve budget transferred pursuant to policy 5321. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Won't carry. H7, recommended motion that the items outlined below for policies, mileage, Board of Education for district meetings, and student tuitions be approved as recommended for 2013-2014. That all policies and code of ethics in effect during the previous year be adopted as revised for the 2013-2014 school year, and that the reimbursement rate to personnel when serving in an approved capacity will be the IRS rate, and that the following persons comprise the Board of Elections: Sharon Matern, Inspector; Sandra Hutton, Inspector. That the tuition rate for general instruction for children and staff for the 2013-2014 school year be as follows: grade K through 5, $1,247; grade 6 through 12, $1,413. That the tuition rate for general instruction for non-resident children for the 2013-2014 school year be as follows: grade K through 6, $7,171; grade 7 through 12, $7,214. All in favor?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, action items, salary schedule, recommended motion that approval be given to salary schedules as outlined in enclosure I-1, miscellaneous and part-time personnel, food service, and substitute teachers. So moved.
Second.
Second by Patty. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Standard workday reportable to the ERS. Recommended motion that approval be given to the resolution establishing a standard workday for the purpose of determining days worked reportable for the state, New York State and local employees retirement system. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hamburg School Car Transportation Services, recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the extension of the contract for 2013 summer transportation services for CPI increments with Hamburg School Card Services effective July 1st, 2013 through August 31st, 2013. You guys got that closure? Okay, so move.
Second.
Second by Laura. Anyways. All approved?
Aye.
Opposed? Contract for certified athletic trainer services, recommended motion that the Hamburg Central School District Board of Education approve the amendment to agreement between the district and Catholic Health Incorporated doing business as Athletic Care to provide certified athletic training services effective August 1st, 2013. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Contract for special services, transition services, recommended motion that the Board of Education hereby approve the agreement between the district and Aspire of West New York Incorporated to provide transition services for a student effective November 1st, 2013 to October 31st, 2014. Sally?
Second.
Second by Patty. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Contract for special services, music therapy, recommended motion that the Board of Education hereby approve the agreement between the district and Erica Ikoka, music therapist, to provide music therapy service for students effective July 1st, 2013 to June 30th, 2014. So moved by Sally,
Second.
second by Patty. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Orientation and Mobility School Age Contract Services Agreement and Addendum, screeners for O&M and TBI evaluation services. Recommended motion that the Board of Education hereby approve the Orientation and Mobility School Age Contract Service Agreement between the district and Elizabeth Pierce Homestead MD Center for the Visually Impaired, doing business as Homestead Center for Sight, effective July 1st, 2013 through June 30th, 2014, and the addendum screeners for O&M and TBI evaluation services between the district and Elizabeth Pierce Olmsted MD Center for the Visually Impaired, effective July 1st, 2013 through June 30th, 2014. So moved by Sally, second by Tom, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Appointment, school physician, recommended motion that Charles Byrne, family nurse practitioner, in cooperation with Dr. Donald Robinson Family Practices, be appointed the school physician to make health examinations of staff employees of the Hamburg Central School District at the rate of $35 per examination, unless follow-up assessments or additional services are necessary for making a final determination of each respective case. So moved by Sally.
I have a question.
Yes, we need a second.
Second.
Second by Tom, go ahead.
I'm just wondering why earlier we approved another doctor. Are we doing two?
One's for staff employees, one's for children.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Renewal amendment for LPN services, recommended motion that the Board of Education hereby approve the amendment between the district and pediatric home nursing services doing business as PSA Healthcare effective September 1st, 2013 to June 30th, 2014. Second?
Second.
Second by Catherine. All in,
I work for them, so I don't.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? On the station, okay. That's all done.
I'll make a motion.
I have to add I-10, the motion authorizing the employment agreement of Dr. Richard Jetter for the position of interim superintendent, or acting/interim superintendent effective 7/10/13.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Okay, motion to adjourn,
Second.
made by Sally, second by Laura. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you all for coming.
You look so nice tonight. What's going on? Your hair, everything, it's gorgeous. I love it curly. Really?
This humidity, I hate.
Oh my
I can't
goodness.
save it.
I'm looking at it from the back and I'm like, oh my gosh, she looks great. Oh, it's so cute. Yeah, I was just saying, because at first I couldn't find you tonight. And then I'm like, holy cow, she looks totally different. You look good.